Hey everybody, welcome back to TechOdyssey. So today I'm here and I want to talk about the Note 20 Ultra and how the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 3 is not a Note replacement. It may look like one on paper. If you look at it, there's no Note 21 this year. There's no Note 21 Ultra. We just got this Z Fold 3. And of course now it has S Pen support, which clearly looks like it's moving in on the territory of the Fold phone. Almost kind of like our good friend here, the S21 Ultra, and ta-da, it has S Pen support as well. But I think it's most widely known that the reason the Fold came out and not the Note 21, there wasn't enough chips. And right now, Samsung is in a bit of a pickle, meaning that their sales are bad. Like the S20 sales were not great, and then the S21 sales were like half of that. So right now, things are not good in the Samsung flagship real estate. And I think maybe they're kind of doubling down and they're going to regroup for when we get ready for the next release, the S22, or whatever they're going to call it in January. But right now, the Note 20 Ultra is still a fantastic phone, and the Fold, I don't think, is a legitimate replacement. Now, it can do a lot of the same things, but for those of you who are diehard Note users, I think you can probably see this on your own, and you look at it and you go, you know what? That looks cool, but that's not a replacement for my Note. Just because something can wield an S Pen does not mean that it is a Note. A Note is an entire device built around the stylus, and I feel like the Fold 3 is a phone that adds a stylus into it. And we're going to talk about that in this video. But before we get into that, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, thank you for being here. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Now let's talk about this whole Fold and Note thing. So, Samsung has already demonstrated they haven't been able to replace the Note with the S21 Ultra. I think they thought that encroaching in on the S Pen space would make it more of a Note phone, but the phone really just didn't sell that well. And I have my own concerns and critiques and complaints about the S21 Ultra, but this guy right here has an S Pen. And so does the Fold. And so do other devices that are out there, but it doesn't make it a Note, and it doesn't mean the Fold is a replacement. See, the Fold doesn't even actually come with an S Pen, which is probably your first indicator. You got to buy it, and you can get the case that Samsung has. It'll come with it. But even still, it doesn't create a compartment inside of the phone. It doesn't have the motion gestures. It doesn't have the Bluetooth support. It doesn't have all the other crazy stuff that you get with an actual Note stylus. It's kind of a big deal being able to press the buttons and flip the shutter around and start recording and snap pictures and all that stuff. So it's ironic to me that they're throwing these things at the S21 Ultra. They're throwing them at the Fold, but it's still not even a bona fide legitimate Note replacement. In fact, you have to get the S Pen Pro, which is funny because they announced that when they announced the S21 Ultra, and it took them all the way until August of 2021, over 6 months later, February, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, like 7 months later to come out with the S Pen Pro version, which will give you some of those functions and features with the Fold that you would traditionally get with the Note. But see, you got to buy that too. And that's not cheap. And it's huge. That S Pen, from what I have seen, is very big. It's even bigger than the one that you get that you can use with the S21 Ultra. So the Fold, it's cool that you can do that. But at the same point in time, you still have to be very careful with it. And you have to use those S Pens. Why? Because they have pressure support. They have a spring-loaded tip on the S Pen that detects the amount of pressure, and it compensates by retracting the pen tip into the S Pen itself so you don't damage the screen. So you're still limited on even how much pressure you can apply in drawing on it, because even though the ultra thin glass that's on the Fold 3 is cool, it's revolutionary, it's less likely to crease and damage and get messed up, it's still not as protective and as durable. It's no Gorilla Glass 6, it's no Gorilla Glass Victus, it's still ultra thin glass, which is like kind of plastic. That's what it feels like. So you don't get the same level of S Pen functionality. You don't even get an S Pen with it. You don't get the same level of S Pen support. You can get pretty much all the features if you go out and spend extra money and buy the Pro S Pen. So you buy the $17.99 phone, then you go spend over $100, and then you get the S Pen Pro to go along with it. You're still back in $2,000 territory, and the Note was never designed to be that expensive. Yes, you can do so much productivity related tasks with the Fold. Yes, you can do them with the Note, and arguably in some areas the Note, I think, is still better than the Fold as a one-stop shop phone. But yeah, it's cool. It's nice to have this whole screen thing. Like, this is the Fold 2. I don't have the Fold 3. It's not out yet. But the Fold 3, you're going to get the big screen, and then you're going to have the screen on the front. But here's another limitation. I've not had tremendously otherworldly great battery when it comes to my Fold. It also has to power more phone. It has to power more phone. It has to power more screen. You've got a screen on the outside, which of course does save battery as opposed to when you're using the phone on the inside. But if you get a Fold, you want to use the big inside screen. 4,400 milliamp battery. At least the Note 20 Ultra had a 4,500 milliamp battery, which most people largely criticize. I did as well. They bumped it back up to the 5,000 in the S21 Ultra, but it was one screen. And that's a nice thing about the one screen, is that you always use that one. Of course, yes, not a whole lot of people use the front screen on the Fold all the time. They use the big screen, so the big screen burns up more battery. So I think when looking at it, also the Note has expandable storage. And I think that's something that when we do see the Note 22, because I don't think they're going to cancel it. I think that the Note 21 was a victim of circumstance and the market and everything going on. The Note, external SD card support, internal stylus, actual glass screen. Like, these are some important things that you need whenever you're talking about using a Note as opposed to a productivity related device with an S Pen as opposed to the Fold. The Fold, yes, you're going to be able to do some of that stuff, but on top of that, you can't use the stylus with the front screen. So if you want to use the actual legitimate glass screen, you can't use the stylus with it. You can't use the S Pen with the front screen on the Fold. So I think that maybe one day they might try and figure this out. Like, it's clear that they're trying to capture the magic of what you get with the Note. The Note has been around for forever. It's the original phablet. Like, I don't think even 2020 and 2021 are going to kill it. I think it's going to be back stronger and better than ever this next year. Maybe that's a reason you should hold off and not necessarily jump on the Fold bandwagon. I don't feel like you're forced. There's a lot of people who are like, hey, I've got the Note, and I'm really upset that they didn't get the Note this year. What should I do? I kind of want to upgrade. I'm using a Note 8. I'm using a Note 9. Maybe find a Note 20 Ultra. Or maybe hold off. Maybe wait till next year. Maybe wait and see what happens in January. Or also, another great option that actually works pretty good, honestly, is the S21 Ultra. And the S21 Ultra with the S Pen is a pretty good combo. It's annoying that you can't put the S Pen inside the phone. It's annoying that it's so big. It's annoying that you can't use all the gestures and stuff. You can get the S Pen Pro, which you can pay $100 for, but you're going to get an S21 Ultra way cheaper than you're going to get a Fold. And it's already got the Snapdragon 888. Ta-da! That's another thing that kind of irks me about the Fold 3. And typically we would have expected an upgrade in the processor when it comes around to the Note. If we had a Note this year and things were all that they should have been, we would have had like a 888 Plus or a 888 Pro processor. It's always been an enhanced processor. That's the other thing that's not an upgrade or a replacement when you look at the Fold. The Fold doesn't have as good of cameras as the Note. It just doesn't. Actually, the cameras are the same as the ones last year with the Fold 2. And the Fold 2 cameras were not as good as the Note 20 Ultra. So the Note really was like the top of its game in Android when it comes to recording, when it comes to cameras. The Note 20 Ultra even added in the lapel microphone function with your earbuds in Pro Video mode. So there is so much that is wrapped around the Note, built from the ground up for productivity, for video, for cameras, for multitasking. Life is built around that S Pen, and there's just so much that goes into it that really just kind of isn't there in the Fold. The Fold is not that refined yet. The Fold as it is now, I don't think is going to win over a ton of Note customers. Some it will, but I think of it as a very distinct and different line. And people that like the Fold may not necessarily like the Note, and vice versa. So I think you're still going to see an increase in Fold sales, but I think you're going to have a lot of people sitting there scratching their heads going, you know what? I really wish I had a new Note. And the Fold just isn't a replacement for the Note. And I don't think that it is. Even if Samsung intended it to be, it just misses the mark on too many core areas to replace the Note at this point in time. Maybe one day in the future, they'll merge the lines somehow. But as of right now, I think the Note is still very much a needed device. I think it's a device that people really love. And I hate to see what happened to it this year. I wish they would have found a way. I would have rather seen the Note 21 as opposed to this upcoming S21 Fan Edition. But the Fan Edition did so well last year, and Samsung's sales are so bad. I think that's why they're going that route. I think they believe they're going to find more success with the S21 FE and the Fold and the Z Flip 3 than they would have with the Note. So they put all their eggs in that basket. and then they're going to roll the dice and see what happens next year and hope things get better. I hope for you Note guys, myself included, that we do get another Note next year. I don't think the S21 Ultra is a replacement. I think it's a substitute. I think if you need a phone as a stopgap and you can get a good trade-in on your Note 9, your Note 10, yeah, there's some good merit to it. Also, the Note 20 Ultra, very good phone, and you can find good deals on those too. You don't have to upgrade to the Fold if you don't want to, because I know some of you don't want to. I know some people are frustrated about this. I am too. I wish we would have seen it, but hey, the Fold is a cool phone. I like they've added the S Pen support. It really needed that for the extra next level of productivity and really refining what you can do with the Fold, but it's not a Note, and it's not a Note replacement. So that's all I've got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.